Hello, 8th graders. This lesson is Chapter 7.3a, which is dividing powers with the same base. The other day, the other lesson, 7.2a, was on multiplying powers with the same base. So today we're going to do the opposite function and divide powers with the same base. We're going to take 7 to the 5th power divided by 7 to the 3rd power. One of the ways of doing this is to write out the factors. 7 to the 5th power is 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 over 7 times 7 times 7. We can divide out the common factors, which I have crossed out here and here, 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 and here. Now, what is left? On the top, in the numerator, we have 7 times 7 left. In the bottom, everything has been divided out or canceled out. And that means it's 1, because 7 divided by 7 is 1, 7 divided by 7 is 1, 7 divided by 7 is 1. That leaves a 1 as our denominator. Then we write the result using the exponents. But if you look closely, we will get to a shortcut. Let's look at example B. Here we have 4 to the 7th divided by 4 to the 5th. Now, this 4 is going to cancel here, this one here, this one, that one, and another one, and another one. So, what is left? Yes, 4 to the 2nd power. Let's look at sample C. This time, you hit pause, and you try it. Did you find your answer is a squared? Now, don't get to thinking that the answer is always squared. It just happens that the last 3 examples have been that way. Now, let's look what happens if we throw numbers into the mix. If we have 12 times x to the 4th divided by 3 times x squared. The 12 times x times x times x times x over the 3 times x times x. Now, I'm going to change colors here. These 2 x's cancel and these 2 x's cancel, but notice the 12 and the 3 cancel to a 4 and a 1. We have 4x squared as an answer. Now again, don't get thinking that everything is always squared, because that really isn't true. Now, this is an interesting process, but it takes a lot of time to write out. So for part of the assignment, you're probably going to have to write out the factors, but we do have a shortcut, which if we go back here, you can see 6 minus 4 is 2, 7 minus 5 is 2, and 4 minus 2 is 2 in an example that's inside the brackets. Plus, if we go back to the first page, 5 minus 3 is also 2. So, our shortcut rule is that if we're going to divide non-zero numbers or variables with the same non-zero base, like both a's, both x's, both z's, then we can subtract the exponents. Now recall that in lesson 7.2a, if we multiplied the non-zero numbers or variables, we added the exponents. Division is an opposite function to multiplication, and the opposite of addition is subtraction. So when you multiply, you add. When you divide, you subtract. So in the second part of the assignment, they're going to ask you to do it with a shortcut. 8, 5 minus 3 is 2. Now again, the answer isn't always going to be a squared number. It just happens that I chose a lot of examples that way. Let's look at E. Here I have the variable, so I'm going to have a. Now remember, we need to subtract the exponents, but I really can't simplify anything other than to say m minus n, and usually we put that in parentheses. you hit pause and try the next 4 examples. Well now, how did you do? Note that on h and I, you end up with negative exponents because 2 minus 4 is negative 2 and 6 minus 10 is negative 4. Now there's actually another way of handling the negative exponents, but for today, you may leave them as negative exponents. The last thing you're going to be asked to do is try to figure out what exponent is missing. Okay, we have 5 raised to some number divided by 5 to the third, and our answer is going to be 5 to the fifth. The way I tell students to do this is think to yourself, okay, that square minus 3 has to equal 5. All right, now let's use your reasoning skills that you learned when you were younger. What number, take away 3, equals 5? Yes, 8. Okay, in K, in example K, we have 7 minus box has to equal 3. Now, put on that first grade math thinking cap. 7 minus what number equals 3? Well, box is going to be 4. In 12a to the 9th divided by 2a to the 3rd, what does box going to equal? Well, 9 minus 3 equals box. What's 9 minus 3? Yes, 6. And that concludes Chapter 7, 3a. This time, please respond with huckleberries. Scouting out.